Hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to DSS online classes. This is Roli ma'am here for science class, and today I am giving you a reading video on the topic viviparous and oviparous animals. So we are here. Viviparous and oviparous animals. We have learned that some animals give birth to young ones while some animals lay eggs which later develop into young ones. So some animals are egg producing and some give birth to their young one, a child. So the animals which give birth to their young one are called viviparous. These animals include human beings also, because we give birth to our young one. So viviparous animals, and those animals which lay eggs are called oviparous animals. So the following activity will help you to understand better and differentiate between oviparous and viviparous. So we are going to discuss that activity. So here the activity is activity 9.2. Try to collect eggs of the following organisms. Try to collect the eggs of frog, lizard, butterfly or moth, hen and crow or any other bird. Were you able to collect all of them? No, you were not able to collect eggs of all of them, because some of them give their young one, and in frog external fertilization occurs and tadpole will be formed, so it will produce its eggs in water, so that is not easy to collect, and if you can collect, you can do for it. Make drawings of the eggs that you have collected, so you can do it easily. Whatever egg you are collecting, just make a drawing of that and write down the animal's name. The eggs of a few animals are easy to collect because their mothers lay them outside their bodies. So if the eggs are laid outside the body, you can easily collect them. These animals from which you have collected the eggs are example of oviparous animals, but you would not be able to collect the eggs of a dog, cow or cat, because they do not lay eggs. The mother give birth to their young one. So these eggs of these animals are protected inside the body of the mother, so you can't collect that. You can collect only their young one and watch that and observe it. These are examples of viviparous animals. So the egg producing animals are known as oviparous, for example hen, and the animals who give birth to their young one like cow, dog and human beings also, these are the viviparous animals. Can you give some more examples of viviparous and oviparous animals? Yes, you can give easily. Viviparous animals which give birth to their young one are cow, dog, cat, etc. Human beings also, and some of the other animals also. Oviparous, naturally hens and whatever lizards, etc. Whatever animals you observe and easily find the examples, you can give. So now we will discuss young one to adults, means growth and development in the body of a young one, and after till up to the reaching to the adult stage. The new individuals which are born or hatched from the eggs continue to grow till they become adults. So after taking birth or after coming out from the hatched egg, young ones have tendency to grow continuously. They grow till they become adults. In the race of being adults, they continuously grow. Some of the changes always occur in their body with the change in the time. In some animals, the young ones look very different from the adults. Yes, young one and adults have many differences, and they look different with each other, and you will be surprised to see that this young one is the become that adult, and you cannot create you will feel difficulty to find any connection between that young one and adult. There are so many differences. So recall the life cycle of silkworm. Last year in class 7th you have studied the life cycle of silkworm. That was, at first egg was produced, then larva or caterpillar, and then pupa, and then adult silk moth was produced. So you have studied in class 7th. So young one, which is caterpillar of the silk moth, was very much different with the adult silk moth, because it was simply a worm-like structure which feeds on mulberry leaves, and then start producing saliva from the start releasing saliva from its mouth, and in shape of 8 it rotates its head and makes the cocoon and enter into the pupa stage. Then from this cocoon adult silk moth will be released. So that was very much larva or caterpillar was very much different with the silk moth. Now frog is another such example. This year in class 8 you have to compare the young one of frog with the adult one. So observe the different stages of frog starting from the egg to the adult stage. Students, I am going to show you the diagram or the life cycle of the frog. You have to watch it carefully from the egg to the adult stage. And we find there are 3 distinct So observe the 3 different stages of the life of the frog. Starting from the egg to the adult stage, we will find that there are 3 distinct stages, that is egg, tadpole or adult. So this was the egg, and this is early tadpole and late tadpole, and this is the adult one. Don't the tadpole looks so different from the adults. So this is the tadpole or late tadpole, looks very much different from the adult. Yes, it looks very much different. It has a tadpole as a fish like structure, while adult one is the given here. So can you imagine that these tadpoles would someday become frog? No one can imagine, because there are many differences between these two. Similarly, the caterpillar of the pupa of silk moth looks very different from the adult moth, as we have already discussed. So, dear students, in the tadpole stage, it has tail and fins to swim in the water. For swimming in the water, because it has to survive in water, because as we all know, external fertilization occurs in frog and zygote will be formed in the water. So naturally tadpole has to live or survive in water. So it has tail and fins to swim in water, and it respires with the help of gills as the fishes do. But in case of frog, it has strong forelimb and hind limb for swimming and jumping on the land surface. So no need of tail and fins, and it respires through its wet skin in the water and through lungs on the earth's surface. So these are the 2 special differences between these 2. Now the features that are present in the adult are not found in these young ones. Then what happens to the tadpole or caterpillar thereafter? So caterpillar or tadpole grows and converts itself into a adult frog. You must have seen a beautiful merge moth emerging out of the cocoon. In the case of tadpoles, they transform into adults capable of jumping and swimming. So these are the special changes which occur in silk moth and in case of frog also. The transformation of larva into an adult through drastic changes are called metamorphosis. So dear students, this transformation from young one into adult and through drastic changes means so many special changes which cannot be avoided, cannot be we think also. So these changes, through these changes, conversion, transformation of young one into adult is known as metamorphosis. Now what about the changes that we observe in our body as we grow? So do you think what about the changes as we take birth? All the body parts are present in the young one, in a child, and after the growth of development only these organs get maturity. So these are the changes which occur in our body. Do you think we too undergo metamorphosis? So yes, and in human beings, body parts similar to those present in the adults are present at the time, from the time of the birth. So already all the organs are present in human beings. So these were the changes that occur from young one to adults and about the oviparous and viviparous animals. I hope you are clear with this video, and if you have any problem then please ask your questions. Thank you.